Clearly, Ray Seggern is a man on the move. We are in an airport, San Antonio, Texas, where Ray slayed the TEDx dragon here many, many years ago.
Many moons ago. So it's a lifetime ago.
Let me tell you about Ray. Filmmaker, musician, marketing wizard through Wizard Academy. And Ray, here's what I thought would be so interesting to talk about. You just got back a few days ago. You're in and out of airports now all the time, but you just got back from Europe.
I did, yeah.
One of the films you're working on, you had to go for the movie shoot in Europe, but you were telling me something more profound happened than just a project. And I thought, hey, we should share this with folks.
Yeah, so at the tender age of, I made my first trip to Europe last week. And it was to, as we say, that's a wrap. It was to wrap principal photography for a documentary about an expat couple that are artists and they're living their best lives in Maastricht, Netherlands. And I've been directing this film via distance over Zoom for almost a year. So this was my first time in country, first time meeting my European film crew, my European producing partner. And so in this journey, this filmmaking journey that I'm on in this season of my life, this is one of the outliers in terms of the really skinny part of the branch. Like, it's outside my comfort zone just to start directing, period. But to direct a film in Europe with a crew that English is not their native tongue,
right,
has really broadened the horizons, and to be there was just wonderful. And I'll say that even bigger than the filmmaking squeegeeing of the third eye was really just seeing life over there and just getting a fresh perspective. And I know most people do that in their 20s and a backpack is involved.
Yeah.
There was a backpack involved, but I came back, I think, changed, and then now getting to spend time with you again, my old Canadian amigo, and watch you do your thing today in the Vistage universe. Just exciting times, man.
Well, but here, let's zero in on this, okay? You're out in Europe, and then like today, you're in a Vistage group meeting. Now you're off to Chicago to go to Strategic Coach. I'm seeing a guy who's making very deliberate efforts to get way out of comfort zones and go into completely new environments, which I know changes a lot of perspective.
So let's just land on Dan Sullivan in the Strategic Coach universe. So that's a tip of the hat to my my dear friends Kevin Comerford and Mark Mahoney, who have both for a long time, for Kevin decades, and then for Mahoney a year or two. But just based on meeting those guys through Rapport Leadership International and the Warrior Circle, not itself a whole important chapter, but Strategic Coach, man, Dan Sullivan and his IP and his way to approach living a better life, I guess, is really resonated with me.
What would you recommend if people are watching this right now? What would you recommend? What would you share about the value of going into completely new worlds?
Well, so for me, I can get bored real quick, and this is not a slight in any way on Wizard of Ads or my clients and what I've been able to do in that sphere. In terms of working with clients one-on-one, and like the brand promise of Wizard of Ads is turn words into magic and dreamers into millionaires, which that's 25 years ago. So it's easier to be a millionaire now. But still, the fundamental brand promise remains, right? But like anything, 20 years in the realm of writing, advertising, for me, it's all storytelling, and where it resonates with me in that space of helping people become rich is it's not just me and the client, and I get to prosper because they prosper, also part of the Wizard brand promise. But to me, it's the dreams and aspirations of all their employees, right?
Well, what I
Does
love,
that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
And so the fact that there's an HVAC technician in Des Moines, Iowa, who's sending his kids to college for the first time or buying a house for the first time, and the fact that we built a strong brand with that company, his employer, that's what gives me goosebumps, and that's what gets me up in the morning for that.
What I just heard, though, is you are a consummate storytelling. I believe you were.
That's kind. Thank you.
You were an extemporaneous speaking champion
Just
in the
stop
state
it.
of Texas.
You need to just stop.
I was going to slide that in, but no. Here's my point. Music, because you play, filmmaking, the marketing initiatives. These all revolve around they orbit around storytelling. And what I'm hearing Ray Seggern do these days, like never before, as long as I've known you, is you're making these deliberate efforts to improve the craft from multiple perspectives.
Well, filmmaking, whether it's documentary filmmaking or the narrative films like Leeds, which we took to Tribeca this year, I just enjoy the collaboration, just like whether it's me and you cooking up a Dusty Duo speaking tour where you're Kiss and I'm Cheap Trick, or if it's getting to work with somebody like Brian Poiser or Boudreaux Partita, we're all got to always be learning, like Jim Gilbert says. And so being around all these very talented storytellers as a producer gives me the courage to go be a director in my own right, because I've had the benefit of those guys and Bradley Beasley and Justin Monroe and just guys who've inspired me and taught me.
That was well played, how that Jim Gilbert plane landed on the San Antonio runway.
Are we in an airport?
ABL.
Are we in an airport?
Always
is that a plane over there?
Learning. Always be learning. Jim Gilbert was telling us that 20 years ago.
He was.
He was never more right. Quick wrap up.
We're never not learning. We never stop learning. And those who do, I see people in our age group, in our generational sphere, who for me, there's never a point where I'm just going to go play golf.
Right.
So for me, to think is to create. And so creating art, telling stories is something I'll do till I'm unable to.
Quickly to wrap up, because you got a flight to catch.
We do. There is in fact a flight to Chicago.
There is a real.
Yeah.
The value of storytelling, the significance of storytelling now more than ever in the age of AI. 30 seconds or less. Ray.
Well, fresh on my mind is your presentation that I got to observe today. And my biggest takeaway from that is the human component. And AI is not, for the foreseeable future, going to replace the ability to, what you do so well is to, you get these people to bring their unpolished nuggets up to the front of the room, and you help polish them and sculpt them a little bit. And that's human collaboration. And there's no way that you can deploy an AI agent for your marketing that can extract that personal story that gives you goosebumps, which I'm going to see is for the people I'm going to work with in whatever arena, that's going to remain the tactical advantage in business. But really, it's the person-to-person level, like you're saying. It's P2P, baby. There's B2B, there's B2C, but really at the end, my man Gary Maxwell here says it's all P2P.
And my man, Ray Seggern, the Texas Amigo, he really does have a flight to catch.
I really do.
He, more than anything, going back to when we first met and helped create the legend called Canada's Huggable Car Dealer, Ray knows it's true. You can't create a legend without a story. And you might be only one story away from creating your own legend.